Casting off from her slip at Toronto Island Marina for the last time, it was a short hop over to the fuel dock to top up the tanks and to finally get underway on the expedition to Cape Breton Island. Captain Johnny's hand-picked crew for the first leg to Montreal, Captain Richard, who signed on for the entire expedition and who was also the previous owner of the boat, and Captain Ty and Captain Keith. Under hot, sunny skies, the route of the expedition begins by heading out through the eastern gap of Toronto Harbour, around the headland of the Leslie Street Spit, leaving it to port, followed by the long run east on Lake Ontario to Presqu'île Bay at Brighton, then inside through the Murray Canal and the Bay of Quinte, and then into the St. Lawrence River at Kingston and the Thousand Islands, through the 7 locks of the St. Lawrence Seaway, up and over the Gaspé Peninsula to the Gulf of St. Lawrence. Then down through the Northumberland Strait, the Strait of Canso, the St. Peter's Canal, and finally into the Bredor Lake. A total of 1,235 nautical miles. After a busy couple of weeks prepping Feelin'Irie 2 for her expedition to Cape Breton Island, it's now go day. In this episode, we'll feature the first leg of the expedition from Toronto to Montreal. Since acquiring the boat a couple of years ago, the plan was always to relocate her to Captain Johnny's homestead on the Bredor Lake in East Bay, Cape Breton Island. Mrs. Captain Johnny, Penny, would be in charge of getting a truckload of gear and their dog Piper safely down east overland to get things set up for Feelin'Irie 2's homecoming. With a quartet of captains on board, there's no shortage of screen time, checking the weather, checking the charts, and for booking slips at marinas. Late in the day, an unplanned stop in Coburg was needed in order to solve an electrical issue. With the alternator replaced and a new starter battery fitted, the expedition was back on course. With an unfavorable forecast, the inside route through Prince Edward County was chosen.
What are you at?
What are you at? Get by!
I think we got a bit of weather coming in.
The inside route refers to taking the Bay of Quinte route on the north side of Prince Edward County, as opposed to staying out on the lake to the south.
Well, we didn't beat the rain coming into Presqu'île Bay. We're about 10 minutes away from the mouth of the Murray Canal to head into the Bay of Quinte. We had to change course after the problems we had in Coburg, and we're getting by. Hopefully we're going to be able to finish all the repairs we need to make in Kingston. But this is the shakedown cruise, so it's all going to be great. Say hi to Keith in the back there. Well, we just entered the Murray Canal after coming through Presqu'île Bay, and we're in a bit of a squall coming in. Well, not much of a squall, more of a big heavy rain shower. And now we're trying to avoid weeds in the prop as we get into the canal. And then if you look ahead, that's our first bridge. Swing bridge, and hopefully they're going to open it for us.
There's a $5.50 bridge swing fee, which I will be ready to collect once you start rinsing.
Copy that. I have a man standing by on deck with money in hand. Over.
Sounds great, guys. We'll swing when you're in range. Freight road bridge out.
Look at you.
Anchor in a little bit, yeah.
Actually, I'd go up into your port there.
How you doing today?
Good, how are you guys?
Getting better all the time.
Excellent. Nailed it.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Yep.
Thank you.
Enjoy your day.
After getting through the Murray Canal, it was time for welcome drinks at the Trentport Marina in Trenton. One of, if not the top, marina on Lake Ontario. A stopover at a friend's place on Howe Island in the Bateau Channel. It's interesting to note the presence of the river currents here. The smooth-looking patches indicate current flow. A lot more on that to come in future episodes as we head down the river. Next up, Brockville. Onwards towards Iroquois and its lock.
Where are we going?
We're headed to the Iroquois Lock, the first lock downbound on the St. Lawrence Seaway.
As daybreak begins, so does the start of the St. Lawrence Seaway lock system. And the first of 7 downbound locks is the Iroquois Lock. Pleasure craft movement is secondary to all commercial traffic and is scheduled to move at specific times. Opened in 1959, the Seaway has seen a total of 3 billion tons of cargo move through it by both domestic Lakers and international salties.
The official opening of what is probably the greatest engineering feat of modern time. Escorted by destroyers, Britannia began her passage through the St. Lambert Lock, symbolic gateway to the heart of the North American continent.
Transiting the 3,700-kilometer marine highway between the Atlantic Ocean and the Great Lakes. About 200 million tons of cargo move through the system this season alone. The lock fills with approximately 91 million liters of water in just 7 to 10 minutes. Getting through a lock takes about 45 minutes. The drop through Iroquois Lock is a whopping 1 whole foot. That's right, 1 foot. And next, the Eisenhower Lock with a drop of 38 feet.
Like we're in an elevator.
and the Snell Lock with a drop of 45 feet.
And so we went down,
Keith, what are you at?
I'm fishing.
I don't think you're fishing. What are you fishing for?
Concrete wall.
The Valley Field Lift Bridge, and then the St. Louis Lift Bridge. The upper Bornhardt Lock, a 41-foot drop, followed by the drop through the lower Bornhardt Lock of another 41 feet. And voila, West Montreal is on the horizon. Course is now set for the Lord Reading Yacht Club in Beaconsfield, Montreal. Where Captain Ty and Captain Keith bid farewell, and the second crew, that's me, Captain Matt on the left, and Captain Todd on the right, join Captain Johnny and Captain Richard for leg 2 of the expedition, up and over the magnificent Gaspé Peninsula, through the Northumberland Strait, the Strait of Canso, St. Peter's Canal, and finally into the Bredor Lake.